Trench Crusade has plenty of cool factions, from religious extremists and then the boring ones. Now, at the moment, there are only 7 factions, and only a few of those factions actually have any lore about them. Now, here are some factions that I would love to see in Trench Crusade. I think they would add a bunch to the lore, the story. I guess the story and lore are the same, but a bunch to the story and tabletop. Ready? Let's go.
Well, I see good things about
devil from the Bible.
This is the most obvious faction to add. Because they already have Christians and Muslims, might as well get all the Abrahamic religions as well. They have shown up in the lore before. In 1703, a small force of Hebrew knights destroyed the Templar stronghold. So this is the most likely one to exist out of all the factions I'm talking about. I'm not even saying it's likely. It's going to get added. Like, I would bet my left nut that it will be added.
Things. Today, I would like to share my top 5 things I like to count.
Now this one might be in the same camp as the Hebrew Knights. They might be coming to TC because they get mentioned in the lore, but not on the side of what you think they are. They're not heretics. In 1573, the Sacred Order of the Dragon halted the heretic advance after the destruction of the Byzantine Empire. They impaled 1 million heretics on the hills of I'm not gonna be able to pronounce that. I'm sorry. So basically, Vlad the Impaler killed 1 million heretics with his vampire army. What more could I say? That's the coolest... Can I swear now? I can swear now. Okay, that's the coolest shit I have ever heard. Oh my god. Vlad the Impaler riding a horse with let's say 500 other guys decked out in vampire armor, impaling 1 million heretics. That in itself is $1 billion idea. But as well as that, it gives us more cavalry units, and that's very rare to see in TC. I don't even think there's one cavalry unit. I might be wrong, but yeah, I don't think there is one, and that would just be cool to add. I want the horsies, man. I just want them. Put a gas mask on them. Let them charge a demon. Why not? That sounds something like the Trench Pilgrims would do.
To the pyramids, Peritos. But first, who are we gonna sacrifice?
This is just a given, because there is no colonization in this timeline, so it'd just be cool to see how that would affect the cultures and such. That's just cool, obviously, but another cool thing that would happen because of that is that we get a third option. Because yes, well, the faithful and heretics have really cool, really cool factions. I would just like to have a third option, just for the ability to choose.
And I am the devil from the Bible, so I don't know how well...
Now, in the lore, the Templars are the reason why all this happened. They got corrupted somehow. I don't know, maybe one of them decided, hey, let's go do lines of cocaine off of Satan's dick. Who knows? But they opened the gates of hell, causing the it's thousands of years of war. They made the setting of TC. Now, personally, I think it would be cool if each Prince of Hell had their own faction. But I would also find it incredibly cool if each Prince of Hell had their own, like, units of Templars representing different sins, you know? Now, if they don't decide to do that, I'd feel like the faction that would, like, most fit with them on, I guess, not even Prince, Lucifer. Because their stories match surprisingly closely. They both thought that they were better than God, so they both set a revolt upon him. One revolt failed and the other is still in motion, you know? And that sounds pretty identical to me. But I would way prefer it if each, Prince of Hell got their own Templar, because that would just be, I don't know, more Templars, which is always a good thing. I want to see them doing more lines of coke off Satan's dick.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition!
You are telling me, with a game with so many religious extremist factions, that they don't have the Inquisition? They're like the poster boys of religious extremism. They're like the D1, like, not even college, like professional level extremists. Everyone else, they're casual. As well as that, Spain is the gateway to Europe. Without Spain, it's basically impossible for the heretic legions to leave Africa. So, they're getting attacked almost every single day from demonic factions. As well as that, they have canonically in the lore traded with the Aztecs. I think it's the Aztecs, it might be the Mayans. So we know for 100% they exist. As well as that, during like the first crusade, Spain was having a bit of a moment. You know, they were in the Reconquista, where they were fighting against the Moors in the south. And I think that would be a really interesting thing for them to explore, you know? Like, the Spanish hate the Moors, and the Moors hate the Spanish, but they both hate the demons. So they're just like, okay, we'll team up to kill the demons, but once that's done, we're gonna go back to killing each other. Another interesting thing would be, maybe it's just completely hell on earth. Maybe demons have just completely ravaged through it, and it's just like barely holding on. Maybe Spain got nuked by Satan, who knows? Anything is possible. Admittedly, all I want is just Blasphemous 3. If they can do that, perfect. Chef's kiss.
You guys hear about those houses filled with treasure and people who can't fight?
As I have said before, there is a lack of a third option, and I think adding pagans into the game would fix that. It would be cool if some people were still worshipping the old gods of Europe. Now, is this just, I want Vikings riding a World War I battleship, raiding coastal towns? Yes. Imagine what they could do with that. You know, not just Vikings. There could be Slavic, I butchered that. I don't even know how I managed to do that. Slavic witches in the middle of Eastern Europe, kidnapping children and eating them. That's really cool. Now, there is a chance that it goes purely on the Abrahamic religions, and that's fine. I accept that. And like them saying like that's the only real religion in the game. Fine, that's cool. I would find it still cool if there were multiple religions all existing, just so that I could see Odin versus the devil. That'd be a cool fight to witness. Well, I guess you wouldn't be really witnessing it. You'd just be dead. Man, I just want to see the French pilgrims fight Vikings. Now this one's just easy. We already have the law set up, Eastern European vampires. We already have a Catholic Church and Protestant Church. I really see no reason why we can't have an Orthodox Church as well. It would just be cool to see like Eastern European inspired symbolism in Trench Crusade, because we mostly only get Western and Southern inspired imagery. Now at this point, the chance of any of these factions coming is 0 to nothing. I don't believe they're ever gonna be in Trench Crusade, but I would find it interesting. Maybe if TC gets as big as 40k, we'll get these, but that's a big if.
Two wolves that battle for dominance inside of each of us. And they're both boys. And they're kissing.
Now I feel like werewolves could go under the same category as vampires, because historically speaking, there was a lot of Christian werewolves. There was a group of people, I believe in the Holy Roman Empire, that claimed when they went to sleep, they turned into vicious wolves that fight for God. It would also be cool to see more units from the Holy Roman Empire, because we only have like Prussian units, and don't get me wrong, they're cool, but I just want to see more from them. Now this one might be the least popular one. Usually when people who want to add like an Asian faction into Trench Crusade, they go for Japan or China. But I think Mongolia would be really interesting, because we know that the heretics managed to absolutely destroy Eastern Europe. So the idea that they would manage to make it to Mongolia would be interesting. And as well as that, this would be like the perfect time to mention that Genghis Khan was around during the First Crusade. So maybe we could have, I don't know, immortal Genghis Khan with his undead army of warriors charging at hundreds and hundreds of demons. Another thing that we could have that is interesting is how the vampires, which we know already exist, would react to the Mongolians. Would they just be completely enemies, like on sight, we see you, we kill you? Or would they be like, let's team up to kill the demons? I feel like that would be a really interesting dynamic they could explore.
Now Cthulhu knows why they call me the Deep One. I fuck Cthulhu.
Now this one might sound insane, because it is. But canonically speaking, New Antion has been sending people to space. I don't know what to say, honestly. They sent someone to space. I believe it might have been that they ended up dying from the experience, but I'm not sure. So, you know, International Space Station, cosmic horrors. There's like 1,000 different things you can do with this. The Holy Empire of Mars. Who knows? Go buck wild. Your limit is literally your imagination here. Okay, that covers the 10 factions I would love to see in Trench Crusade. If you've enjoyed this, please like, comment, and subscribe. And I may be doing a part 2 real soon. Depends on how this video does. Well, see ya!